Hi everyone. This tutorial is a little bit about eyebrow shaping, how to get a nice shape with your eyebrows if they're starting to look a little bit unkempt, how you can look after them and maintain the shape at home, and how you might want to just lift your arch ever so slightly. I've got a couple of little tips to show you how to do that as well. A couple of little bits of information on tools and equipment and products to use, and just how to carry out an eyebrow shape or a maintenance safely, correctly, without taking out too many hairs. I thought that might be quite handy with everybody being at home. You know, eyebrows, it's going to be quite a quick video today, but I thought I'd just show you a couple of techniques just to, try and minimise any discomfort and any pain. So I'll get started. Okay, so I hope you all enjoy. I'm just going to pop my headband on just to keep my fringe back and out of my way. Okay, so I have still got my eyebrow product on. I'm going to cleanse that off. I'm going to take it off. I have penciled them into the shape that I like, but I know that's kind of going to hinder what I need to do. So I'm actually going to take them off, and I'm just going to use a cleansing spray just to take them off. And I can share the links to these products as well. I have still got my makeup on. I'll be taking that off later on. I'll just be dealing with it then. So I'm just doing a little cleanse. Okay, and really because my eyebrows are tinted anyway, it hasn't really made much of a difference. As you all know, my little bugbear is this little bit here, which is just a problem for me. So a little bit about eyebrow shape. And so again, everyone has different ways and different means of dealing with their eyebrows. Sometimes I actually wax my eyebrows, but if I'm in a hurry, which I am most of the time, I just tend to get my tweezers, give them a quick tidy up. But I thought I'd just break that down tonight and hopefully give you a few little bits of advice along the way. So the first thing that I'm just going to do, I'm just going to take my eyebrow groomer, which is the other end of my eyebrow pencil, and I'm just going to kind of put them where I need them to be. Just to start with. So that's kind of step 2. So I've cleansed, I'm doing my little eyebrow groom. And then step 3 is just to get a basic idea of where your eyebrows sort of kind of should be heading. But like I say, everyone's different, everyone's eyebrows are different. And a tutor that I worked with a good few years ago gave me a bit of advice, and she said, eyebrows are sisters, they're not twins. I quite like that, and that stuck with me. So whenever I'm teaching the eyebrow unit or the eye unit at work, I always mention that to the students. So they're not supposed to be identical, but it's just a little bit of a guide. So the guide that I go with, the rule of thumb, and you've noticed this, I think, when I've done my eyebrow tutorial, is line up the side of your nose. And I'm just using the upside down part of my eyeliner brush because I couldn't get any orange wood sticks, any beech wood sticks anywhere. So the first part, this part of your eyebrow, ideally should line up with the side of your nose there, with the side of your nostril. Okay, so I know I've got a little bit of filling in to do, but not too much, but I have got some little stray excess hairs that I'll kind of zoom in on. Then the next part, so your arch, again, you're going from the corner of your nostril, and that should line up with the sort of outer part of your pupil. That should be the highest part of your arch. Then the next part, I'll just turn that around, and I know that mine do finish way earlier than they should. So when I'm penciling my brows in, I always just take them down a little bit with my eyebrow pencil, but very thinly, because I don't want that part of my eyebrow getting thicker. I want it tapering off to almost nothing. So just line that up. There we go. So you've got 3. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so mine as a shape are generally quite aligned, but I do get a lot of stray hairs, and I do, with being a sort of natural redhead, I get a lot of fine fair hairs, which I do often wax. I do tend to wax my eyebrows. I'll put the wax on here and in the middle, and then I'll tweeze to get the shape. But mine have been the same shape for a long time now, so I don't tend to do a lot with them apart from maintain them, which is just tweezing out the excess hairs. So I've done my little measuring tool. So again, you've got the 1, the 2 and the 3, okay? Then I've been using these tweezers for I don't know how long. These are Tweezerman slanted tweezers, and I've had them so long. The little logo Tweezerman's worn off, but they're great. They're really sharp, really pointed, and they will extract any hair. So the next little tip that I've got is just, you're tweezing your eyebrows. Where do you put the hairs when you've tweezed them? What do you do with them? So what I tend to do is grab a tissue, like so, and I just roll that tissue. And here's one I made earlier. Okay, I tend to put that around the middle finger of my opposite hand to where I'm going to hold my tweezers. Okay, so hope you're all following this okay. So I've got my tissue there, I've got my tweezers in this hand. I'm going to be pulling my skin taut or tight, whichever, with that hand, and I'm going to remove with that hand. And as I'm doing that, I'm going to be wiping. I'm going to place the hairs on this little tissue. This can just be disposed of the minute you've finished. Pop it straight in your bin, and then you haven't got to think about it. And it's just a tissue. It's very minimal fuss and mess. Okay, so what I tend to do is pull my skin taut, and your hairs grow in this direction, so outwards on your eyebrows. This central panel here, the hairs tend to grow up. Okay, so if I start on this little panel here, what I can do, just if it's a little bit uncomfortable, this area tends not to be, I only ever really pull taut with this side and that side, but not really the middle. So all you want to do is just go in and you want to remove the hair in the direction that the hair's growing. Okay, so there's no point really in pulling down or out, because all you're going to do is snap the hairs, and you're going to end up with really a bit of a stubble effect. So to get the hair properly and correctly out of the follicle, you need to remove it in the direction that it's growing. Okay, like so. So you would remove any hairs and just pop them on your little tissue. Okay, and then coming onto the sides here, just pull taut. Just by pulling the skin taut, it just minimises any discomfort and any pain. If anyone's ever had any waxing done before, you'll have noticed that your therapist will always pull your skin taut before any wax strips or wax is removed. Okay, so just pull taut. And just pop any excess just on your little tissue. Okay, so that's all you're doing. You're taking the hairs out and I'm pulling in the same direction that the hairs are growing, and that just minimises any discomfort and any pain. I'll then repeat on the same eyebrow and do exactly the same again, but obviously I need to just turn my hand around that way, and I've just folded the rest of that tissue in the palm of my hand so it doesn't flap about and get in my way and get on my nerves generally. Again, so just in that direction, and all you do really is you're just seeing what needs to come out for the shape that you like. So if you wanted to thin your eyebrows out, I'd recommend starting from the bottom and working your way up. I would try and avoid taking any from the top unless you need to. I've got very, very fine downy hair, so I actually do take a couple out from the top. It's not a problem. And what you can also do, I'm just going to grab my little pair of scissors. I'm just going to show you if you needed to trim any eyebrow hairs. I'll just show you that little tip as well, so just bear with me a minute. And the best scissors I've got for that job, I would just groom up, and I do get sometimes the odd long one, just one, that just tends to, it won't be groomed and it won't sit anywhere really. And I've just got a little pair, just tiny little nail scissors or baby scissors. These are just a little pair of nail scissors. And just lift up, and if you needed to, just slightly take a little bit off. Okay, so if they do grow a little bit long, and some people's do, then do that. A couple of tips with eyebrow shaping. You can always take more out, but you can't stick them back in. So once they're gone, you know, they're gone until the hair completes its life cycle. The hair tends to grow through 3 different stages of growth. You've got the anagen, which is the active phase of growth, catagen, which is the changing phase of growth, and telogen, which is I always say it's the tired phase of growth. That's when the hair naturally will just shed. It's not connected to a blood supply, so it will just come away. So depending on the how fast your hair grows, and same with eyebrows, you know, underarms, legs, anywhere, you're normally looking at around 4 to 6 weeks for the life cycle of a hair. So that will give you an indication if you've gone a little bit tweezer happy. That'll give you an indication how long the hairs take to come back. Sometimes they come back normally. When I was working with clients, sometimes I'd have to tint over where maybe the client had over plucked or over tweezed. And yeah, tinting's a great treatment to have if anyone gets the chance to have an eyebrow tint. I do mine sort of regularly because mine are just so fair. They almost go to nothing, especially if it's been a sunny day like today. They almost just disappear and vanish. And the tint just lasts, you know, it lasts a good month. It lasts around about for me 4 to 6 weeks. It just depends again on your hair and how porous your hair is. That just means how much moisture your hair will absorb, how much colour it will absorb. So yeah, and then when they're all done, I did do mine about 2 weeks ago, so they're not too bad. So I'm not going to show you any more practical, but just remember, tweeze in the direction that they're growing. So you just basically, you want to be tweezing out that way, and make sure you close your tweezers as well. Sometimes if you don't close them quite properly and you've grabbed one of the hairs, it will just snap the hair in half and not remove it from the root, and that really tends to hurt. And just be really careful of your skin as well. Part of the reason why we pull the skin taut is just so you don't accidentally grab any hair, because any skin, because that can really be quite uncomfortable. And if you need to go back in as you're tweezing, just go back in with your groomer, get the shape. Again, I'll just show you really quick what I'll do a little bit of aftercare on this eyebrow, but I'll pencil in this eyebrow just really quick just to show you. So I'll pop a little product on this eyebrow in a second. So again, when I'm filling in my brows, I tend to go in with my little measuring guide there, and I just very gently just square them off. And I just follow the hairs around. I don't go too high up, because I think if I pencil them in too high, then they start to look a little bit fake, and I quite like the sort of brushed natural look. That's all very in at the minute as well, but that's worked for me for, gosh, the last however many years I've been penciling in my eyebrows. And I'm just, as you can see, I'm tapering off, and I'm not drawing the eyebrow on and stopping. I'm actually feathering that and then coming off before, if that makes sense. I'm just finishing the stroke just so that makes them look a little bit more natural. And that's it. So I've got a little cooling gel, just a little tube of aloe vera gel I've had for a couple of months, and that just really takes any redness, any sting out. Oh, it's lovely. Always try and remember to do that as well. Even when you do your eyebrows at home, always give them a little cleanse. If you haven't got any cleansing spray like the one I've got, it's a wholesale one, it's a trade one. then just give a little wipe over. Even wiping over just gently with a little bit of surgical spirit before you start is always good, because it just cleans the area, it keeps the area nice and sterile. And yeah, and that's really about it. So any questions about eyebrows? I hope that's just helped a little bit. If you've got a little bit of maintenance to do at home and you're a little bit, you feel a little bit nervous, you want to drop us a message, then just drop me an inbox on Facebook. Just drop us a message, and then I can help you out, or I can go through it with you. If you want to do a little video call, that's absolutely fine. So hopefully that's helped a little bit. And if you've got any suggestions for any videos or anything in the future, please just pop a comment, and I hope you're enjoying all the videos. Stay safe everyone, I hope everyone's well, and see you soon for the next video.